EcoVeganGal.com and welcome back to the Healthy Organic Vegan on a Budget series in which I'm giving you 30 videos to help you eat well without spending a lot of money leading up to my upcoming ebook on the same topic. And today's video is all about bulk foods. We're going to talk about how you can save money buying in bulk, how it's good for the environment, where to get them, and how to get them. So let's get started. First, let's get clear on what bulk foods mean. There's a few different ways that this term is used, and what I'm talking about today is when you buy foods from bulk bins within natural markets. I'm also going to dabble a little bit in buying large quantities of foods online or in stores that sell bigger packages like Costco and places like that. So mainly though, when I think about bulk foods, it's when I go into that natural market and you see all those bins lined up and they have the grains and the beans and the nuts and the seeds and dried fruits and cereals and on, and it's such a really cool experience because you get to go in there and just look around and really experience food in a way that you don't when it's packaged on the shelf. So a really cool benefit of buying in bulk is that you can sample it. Now, the policies will differ from store to store. Sometimes you have to ask permission and someone comes over and gives you a sample. Sometimes they'll let you take a little and pour it in your hand. You definitely don't want to reach in there and pull something out with your bare hands because that's super unsanitary. You'll be able to taste how fresh it is. If it tastes stale, don't buy it. If it looks stale, if it looks like it's collecting dust or getting kind of moldy, you really have that opportunity to look at it, which is another great advantage. When you're buying packaged foods, they don't always have little see-through windows or packaging. You might just have a box and not even know what it looks like inside. And if you've never tried it before, you kind of have to buy it and then try it. So the bulk foods definitely has a lot of advantages in that sense there. Two huge perks in terms of money. One being that it can cost up to 75% less to buy something in bulk than something that would be already packaged. A perfect example are legumes. When you buy a can of legumes, it'll cost you usually around $2 or so for an organic can. You can spend $2 on dry legumes, make them yourself, and it usually results in 3 times more than the can. So your $2 is going to go a lot farther in that case. Now it's going to, of course, differ from store to store and type of bulk product that you're buying, but you get my point there, is that you get a lot more bang for your buck. The other really great way to save money is when you buy in bulk, you only buy what you need. So for example, if you need rice, you don't have to buy a ginormous package of rice if you're only going to use a little bit. Or even better, if you're buying spices, like here's an example, you can actually get spices in bulk and only buy the amount that you need. So if you just need a tablespoon of the spice, why would you get a full-on container of it when you can just get that small amount in bulk in a small little bag, put it in there, and pay like pennies for it as opposed to several dollars. Another great way to save money and the environment is to bring your own container. I actually have a whole video about this and I'll link to it down below, but I wanted to show you a few examples in this video. This one right here is just a mesh bag. This is made from hemp and cotton. And it's from a company called Chico Bag, and I mentioned them in that video. And this can be used for any type of bulk item. So your rice and your legumes, really small things. You could put like sesame seeds or flax seeds in here too. It's really, really versatile, and when you're done with it, you just toss it in the wash and it's super clean. Now, jars are really wonderful too because not only can you use them to fill up the bulk bin, but you can also use them to store things. So in here I've got some millet. This one has some flax seeds in it, and they can just go right on your counter. They look really nice. You can put labels on them. In both cases, you want to make sure that you weigh the containers before you put food in them so you're not paying for the cost of the food and the container. A glass jar could really add up fast on a scale. Now, when it comes to saving money, a lot of places will give you about 5 to 10 cents off when you bring your own bag. So if you're buying multiple things in bulk, you could save a good amount of money there as opposed to paying the extra cost of packaging for something that's on the shelf. And environmentally, you are saving all that extra packaging that would just go into your wastebasket after you're done with it. A huge thing to keep in mind when it comes to bulk food is to always compare prices. So you're not always going to save money in the bulk bins. It can be a little bit misleading. So I talk about this a lot in the book about how to comparison shop, but one thing that you always want to look for is the cost per ounce or per unit. So take the price of something that's packaged on the shelf, and there'll be a little label underneath it in most stores that tells you what the price per ounce is. Then you go over to the bulk bins, and instead of looking at the price per pound, look at the price per ounce or do some calculations. It helps to bring along a phone or some other form of calculation device and really get the math right. It's going to take you a little extra time, but once you figure out the calculations, you'll know for future trips, and that will ensure that you're really getting the best price. So speaking of prices, let's talk about different options for where you can buy your food. Number one is natural markets. Most natural markets will have a bulk bin, not all of them, but it's really helpful to kind of explore your options in your area. Whole Foods, pretty much every Whole Foods has one. Trader Joe's, from what I remember, no, I don't think Trader Joe's has them, at least not that I've been to, but places like Sprouts if you have one nearby, or even just your generic big box store. A lot of them will have some sort of bulk section. Maybe it's kind of small, maybe it's just herbs, or maybe it's just like coffee or something like that. But it's really helpful to kind of explore around and see what's available in your area and what their different prices are. The other great option is buying online, and this is where you'll often find really good prices. So it's a little bit of a different experience because you don't get to try the food and you don't get to use your own packaging, and you have to pay for shipping in most cases. However, sometimes the prices can be even better than what you would get in the store. Now, when you buy online, you also can't control quite the exact amount that you buy, but if this is really great for things that you're using over and over again, like rice and legumes and all of that, so definitely look online and do some price comparisons between your local stores and the online stores. Now, some people feel concerned about the costs of buying in bulk, so I really want to clarify. There's just two different strategies here. So you're either going to buy things in just the amounts that you need, or you're buying in bigger amounts so that you can save money, because a lot of stores will make it cheaper the more that you buy. So you can get things like case discounts, or like I mentioned online, if you get a huge bag of something, it's often much cheaper than if you get a smaller. So in that case, in the latter case, it really helps to save up for it. Create a little savings account, even if it's just a little envelope, and start putting any spare change, extra dollars in there, and make sure that money goes directly to your bulk purchases. If you feel overwhelmed by the prices and, wow, that bag of rice is how much? I'm gonna spend that much on rice. It's really helpful to have that extra money sitting aside and also mentally remind yourself that you're going to be saving money in the long run. All right, now I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comment section, do you have any more tips on bulk buying, and do you have certain stores that you find great prices at, either online or in person? Leave the specifics down below so we can all benefit from it. If you like this video and you found it inspiring, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you can do so right here. And if you want all 30 of the videos in this series, you can sign up for the mailing list. The link is right down below in the description field, and I will email you all of them directly to your inbox. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and in the meantime, you can check out ecovegangal.com for more information about healthy, happy living. I will see you tomorrow. Bye! Same topic, and this video is all about how to eat raw foods on a budget. So raw, vegan, uncooked,